Welcome to Cyber Focus, your source for international business information. My name is Christopher Rice, and you're watching our special series on sustainable development and cybersecurity. Our guest today is Dr. Marios Efthymiopoulos. Dr. Efthymiopoulos is an associate professor of international security and strategy and former dean of the College of Security and Global Studies at the American University in the Emirates. He holds a PhD in Security and Strategic Affairs on NATO issues and NATO-Russia relations. Currently, Dr. Efthymiopoulos is focusing on alliances, international organizations, smart cities, and cybersecurity in the United Arab Emirates. His upcoming publication, Handbook of Cyber-Democracy, Cyber Development, and Cyber Defense, covers economic and political development topics that are enabled by the International Telecommunication Union. Dr. Efthymiopoulos is also the founder and CEO of the Strategy International think tank. Today, Dr. Efthymiopoulos will share his insights on the current cybersecurity landscape in Dubai and the vital role it plays on the sustainable development of the city. Marios, pleasure having you today.
Pleasure.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Well, Marios, can you tell us a little bit about the new strategic vision of cyber defense and network of Dubai? What is the current cybersecurity landscape like in Dubai, and how will this new vision change it?
Good question. The United Arab Emirates has a centralized vision, which is the UAE vision of 2030. Dubai itself, as one of the 7 emirates of the UAE, has a vision of 2021 to be a smart city, including with having a cyber security and cyber defense authority that regulates, authorizes, and implements safety regulations. Based on the decree of the United Arab Emirates in 2013 for the whole United Arab Emirates and 2017 of the Dubai decisions, the United Arab Emirates and specifically Dubai are implementing a national defense electronic strategy. The National Defense Electronic Strategy applies more to the elements of societal status of the city of Dubai being smart, but also being safe. Therefore, all elements from government companies to private institutions are reflective to the Cybersecurity Electronic Authority. Having said that, in 2017, on September 2017, Dubai created the Cybersecurity Strategy. The cybersecurity strategy implements more operational effectiveness towards the vision that is applied in the whole of the UAE and in the Emirate of Dubai.
Okay, great. Well, the recent International Telecommunication Union's Global Cybersecurity Index ranked the UAE in the maturing stage. How can this new strategic vision propel Dubai and also the UAE into the leading stage of this index?
Well, as I said, there is a vision. Within the vision of the UAE 2030 for the country itself, there is an element of security resilience. Now, usually the term security resilience is reflective more into the defense sector. Rather, security resilience in this case reflects more the electronic and if you want, electronic authorities that are assisting towards the safety nets that should be for all companies that do business or for all people and residents in the country. That being said, the vision of having a smart city being achieved by 2021 in Dubai has multiple tasks that need to be achieved with, including the flow of information that comes in and outside of the country. The second part has to do with big data information. The big data information that is shared by the United Arab Emirates is in transition in such a way that more information comes out on what is happening in terms of infrastructure and development. The third and last aspect has very much to do so with the infrastructure itself, the speeding line of communication and the uses of social media. That's what it is. Okay.
Well, what kind of changes do you expect to see on kind of a macro scale in Dubai and the UAE in the coming years?
The United Arab Emirates has bidded and has been granted to host the World Expo 2020. The World Expo will bring more than 60 million people in the city of Dubai, and therefore all investments have very much related to services, from real estate to city investments, to the actual main venue events. Even a new airport is being built there. Having said that, in order to build there and to be agile with the technology that is running around the world, and we're going towards 5G generation of technology, you definitely need the infrastructure that needs to be built in the city itself. So I think the very big bid is to create that grid that interconnects all companies, that interconnects the government, that interconnects the operations, and that has a safety net for which the client, the tourist, the resident, the citizen will be very much free and safe in terms of communication and safety, if you want, for themselves.
Okay, great. Well, Mario, cybersecurity and sustainability can often feel like very different areas. Many organizations, though, are finding cybersecurity to be a vital element of sustainability. How important would you say cybersecurity is for sustainable development generally in the 21st century?
Yeah, very much so. I believe that 21st century is talking about the fourth generational revolution, which is more technology. There is a but on this one, because every century, in the beginning of every century, you start with being very excited about the technology, the future technology that comes with, but there is a difference in this case. The internet has united people in ranges in space, in Earth space, within a blink of an eye. You just www something and you can see the other person on the other side. You Skype this person, you can work with this person, which means that the flow of information is faster. Within the flow of information, you're expecting that you're going to be able to achieve development. Whether you're going to sustain it or not very much depends on whether you want to stop the government policy of sustaining it. This is what we have achieved. We stop and we sustain it. Or you want to grow with it. Sustaining it has a risk. Growing it has also a risk. Win or lose in those terms, you will develop eventually. But the question is, are you going to be sustainable versus a competitive global market? Or do you want to be just competitive with your own internal national market? And I believe that in this world that we live at, where information flow is vast, at that very level, you want to be competitive versus the world. And I believe that the city of Dubai will achieve to be a smart city by 2021, has already achieved many big things, has now a new policy for, which is called the UAE Vision 2071 on future elements.
2071?
2071, yes. And there is also another one of 2235. Of which the 2235 speaks about the colonies on planet Mars, which means that if you actually want to achieve such a goal, whatever this goal may be, even more so when you specialize on outer space exploration, then you're talking about great and vast use of technology and data, which means basic and very specialized infrastructure. So they have to be in the forefront if they want to compete. Mega cities such as Singapore, Hong Kong, Moscow, Washington, New York, and if you want to be in the forefront of being the leader. And that means allowing for startups, allowing for companies to blossom there, and even create your own companies made in the UAE.
And this is sustainability?
According to the vision, yes.
Okay. Well, with the importance that cybersecurity plays in sustainable development, it's necessary to have a cybersecurity plan that is also sustainable itself and can persist through numerous cyber incidents or events. What elements do you think are necessary in the creation of a sustainable cybersecurity management program?
Very good. We were talking today in the conference about the risk management, the risk analysis, and the possible enterprise risk analysis. I believe that when the government creates and regulates authorities and laws, you're talking about enterprise risk management done from the point of view of government. The government does scenarios, short-term, mid-term, and long-term scenarios. And I believe those scenarios have to have feasibility studies which actually show you the symmetries of a possible crisis management scenario, but also have to design scenarios that are not symmetrical and don't have the stability variable, but rather are unstable. So for example, what if you put a satellite outside the Earth and that satellite is just gone? What if you have a direct attack based on all basic infrastructures of the cities at the time of welcoming people within, I don't know, Olympic Games, for example. So you have to take into consideration those risk assessments. The way that risk management is done and a risk analysis is done, I believe this is the pathway to examine and to sustain the possibility of having more safe and secure society that you live at, because obviously we cannot limit security to 100%, but we can at least limit it to a possible extent. The second part is observe. And the third one, I believe, is analyze out of the incidents that have already happened to know from your mistakes.
Okay, so to kind of evaluate and reassess. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, Marios, thank you so much for coming to speak with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for your participation at the symposium as well. It's
Thank
been
you.
a pleasure hosting you in Bloomington.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me here, and thank you, Cyber, for having this interview today with you. Thank
you. That's all for this edition of Cyber Focus. Thank you for tuning in. If you have any comments or suggestions for future topics, please let us know at cyber, that's CIBER cyber, @indiana.edu.